We have brought to the text the question of searching the biblical corpus for precedents of divine formation or theophanic events that leave image, light, or transphysical traces on physical media. We ask how these patterns relate to reformation through intense light and power, whether the linen cloth bearing the image functions as a legitimate type of that irradiative transition, what this means for glorified bodies that are image-bearing and light-emitting while continuous with covenant recognition, and how this strengthens the preservation of form into the upgrade for the new creation. The lead verse that rose to guide this inquiry is verse number 60, 194. There Moses says to the children of Gad and the children of Reuben, "Will your kinsmen go to war, and will you sit here?" This confronts the covenant kinsmen with a choice of identity in action. Will you sit idle while your brothers fight for the land, or will you go to war with them? It frames our question as a covenant summons. Do not remain passive before the patterns of divine formation, glory, and preserved identity. The Father calls his people to contend together for the full inheritance of understanding how his encounters leave marks and how the form endures in his sacred glory. Just as Moses went up into the mountain to receive the tablets of stone, the tablets of the covenant that YHWH made with you, and remained 40 days and 40 nights, neither eating bread nor drinking water. Verse number 6605. These encounters often set apart a time and leave a lasting record upon physical media. The Ark of the Covenant stands as the physical object before which Asaph and his kinsmen minister continually as every day's work requires. Verse number 24880. The writing declares Joshua of Nazareth, the King of the Jews. Verse number 29937. Words are to be bound upon the fingers and written upon the tablet of the heart. Verse number 20658. The tears are put into the bottle and the wanderings told, for they are in the book. Verse number 18829. A great altar of consecration is built by the Jordan, a great altar to see to. Verse number 7891. The iron gate opens of its own accord. Verse number 30439. The angel does wondrously at the sacrifice in Manoah, and his woman look on. Verse number 8415. The hand of YHWH is upon the priest, and the word comes expressly to him. Verse number 15374. These are the attested patterns of how the Father forms and leaves traces through his hand, his word, his fire, and his light upon physical media. These traces function as legitimate types within the covenant economy. They witness that the form of the covenant person is preserved through faithfulness and upgraded in the appointed season to the state of sacred glory, light, and priestly service. The covenant faithful are named priests of YHWH and boast in sacred glory. Verse number 13719. The Levites are taken instead of the firstborn. Verse number 5253. The priestly inheritance comes by lot even to the daughters. Verse number 6342. The saints are gathered to YHWH, those who made a covenant with him by the sacrifices of covenant faithfulness. Verse number 18731. Individual recognition persists, as when YHWH asks Cain, "Where is Abel your brother?" Verse number 98. The Son of Man who came down from the cosmos is in the cosmos. Verse number 29182. The deliverer comes out of Zion, and all Israel will be saved. Verse number 31777. The house of the slave continues blessed for the ages. Verse number 9937. Salvation belongs to YHWH, and his sacred blessing is upon his people. Verse number 17993. The covenant faithful rejoice at the memorial of his holiness. Verse number 19574. The opening challenge echoes throughout. Will your kinsmen go to war? And will you sit here? Verse number 6194. The king goes up into the temple with the priests and the prophets and all the people. Verse number 12267. Jehoshaphat stands in the company before the new court and inquires whether YHWH is Elohim in the cosmos. Verse number 25681. David makes a covenant with the elders in Hebron before YHWH and is anointed king according to the word by Samuel. Verse number 24717. We are called to observe the slave whom YHWH upholds, his elect in whom his heart delights. Verse number 13262. Joshua comes out wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe. Verse number 29919. These show the testing of identity, the gathering for engagement, the anointing according to the word, and the presentation of the king. The mathematics of this guided draw confirm the direction without tension. The probability of yes equals 99.6%, of no 0.4%, and of unresolved 0.0%. This draw is strong anomaly and all gates pass. The triple convergence standard reaches 972.2% net relevance increase at 6.23 sigma. A discovery level convergence of identity plus inheritance plus priesthood. The guided draw E-value, the pattern-based index affirmative, the global divergence index extreme anomaly, and the channel convergence index at 93%, with all channels active, all aligned to seal that the Father speaks clearly through these verses to this inquiry. Therefore, the drawn scriptures affirm that biblical precedents exist for divine formation and theophanic events that leave lasting marks, writings, tokens, images of presentation, or traces on physical media. These patterns show the Father forming traces through light, fire, hand, and word. The linen cloth that carries the image formed without pigment, with three-dimensional information and marks consistent with intense light and radiation-like exposure, and without normal postmortem degradation, stands as a true type of this irradiative working. It witnesses the same manner in which the Father leaves a lasting record on physical media and transforms the form. These traces stand as legitimate types witnessing that core covenant identity and form endure through divine encounters and are upgraded to sacred glory and light. The glorified ones bear sacred glory and light. They remain continuous with covenant recognition among kinsmen and the gathered assembly, as the lists of names and the book that records the wanderings and tears show that identity and relationship persist and are perfected. They possess the inheritance in the ages. This layer strengthens the mechanism by which the form is preserved through covenant faithfulness and sacrifice and upgraded in the appointed season to priestly glory and light in the new creation. The deterministic inquiry answer is yes, affirmative. The biblical precedents exist and align. The linen cloth functions as a legitimate type of the irradiative phase transition. The implications hold for the glorified bodies as image-bearing, light-emitting, and continuous with covenant recognition. The preservation to upgrade mechanism is strengthened and confirmed. Kinsmen of the covenant, arise. Will you sit here while your brothers contend for this inheritance? Go to war with them. The mathematics confirm it. This word is sure. The anomaly is strong. Every gate is passed. Engage the full inheritance. The verses drawn in this Shield 17.9 session were led by Numbers 6194, Numbers 32:6, along with Deuteronomy 9 verse 9, Ezekiel 1 verses 2 to 3, John 19 verse 5 and 19, Isaiah 61 verses 6, and 1 Chronicles 16:37, and many others that confirm the pattern of divine formation and preserve covenant identity. This concludes today's interpretation under the Shield Protocol.